Sir, we will start in 2 minutes. Sir.
Yeah, no hurry.
Thank you, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
Yeah. So my voice is audible to all the participants. If you can confirm me in the chat, start the session. Audible, clear. Hello. Can someone from the participants can confirm the chat in the chat box? My voice is audible.
Is it audible?
Audible. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, good evening to all the participants. Once again, I welcome you back to this AICTE sponsored online 1 week short-term training program on soft computing techniques in civil engineering, especially the structural, water resources, geotechnical, remote sensing and transportation applications, phase 3. Today, we are entering into the session 2 of day 1. Today, our expert is a well-renowned person and speaker of today's session is Professor K. Srinivas Raju, sir. It is my immense pleasure to introduce Professor K. Srinivas Raju, sir. Professor K. Srinivas Raju Hello. Very sorry for the inconvenience because some internet issues. Very sorry for the inconvenience. I'll continue it. Yeah. Yeah. Professor K. Srinivaswamy is a professor and head of the Department of Engineering at BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus. Professor K. Srinivaswamy completed his master's from IIT Madras and obtained his PhD from IIT Kharagpur in water resources engineering. Professor Srinivaswamy worked with Professor Lucien Dugstein in the field of multi-criterion decision making with reference to water resources planning during his postdoctoral program at France. Professor Srinivaswamy's research interests include impact of climate change on water resources systems, multi-criterion decision making, and software computing applications in water resources engineering. Professor Srinivaswamy has more than 130 papers in various reputed journals and conferences, and has been a reviewer for more than 44 international journals. With Professor T. Narasimhan for a few books such as Fluid Mechanics Problem Solving Using MATLAB, which is published in the year 2020 by PHI New Delhi, India. Another one is Impact of Climate Change on Water Resources, published in the year 2018 by Springer. Another one is Multi-Criterion Analysis in Engineering and Management, which is published in the year 2010 by PHI New Delhi, India, and so on. Added to that, Professor Srinivaswamy is also editorial member of Journal of Water and Climate Change, IW publishes, and associate editor for ISS Journal of Hydraulic Engineering, Hydraulic Francis. At present, he is working on collaborative sponsored project rainfall runoff modeling for Lower Godavari Basin changing climate with IISc Bangalore, which is sponsored by CSSR. Professor Srinivaswamy also completed 5 sponsored research projects, including 2 collaborative projects with IISc Bangalore on climate modeling and integrated urban flood management. With this brief introduction, I'm very happy to invite speaker Professor Srinivaswamy, and I would like to thank for the acceptance you have given for being part of this ACT program, sir. The session over to you. Please proceed with the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Girish. So I hope you are able to hear my voice, everybody.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay. So my presentation moves around a multi-criterion decision making in water resource engineering. So I will take around 1 or 20 minutes or so. Then we'll have discussion. Since already 10 minutes are already lapsed, so I will try to take even after 10 minutes after 5:30. Now you can stop me any point of the time or whatever for the Girish feels so perfectly fine with me. The more doubts, I am most happiest man. Then, so whenever the word multi-criterion means what? More than one criterion. Then here the multi means you are having multiple meanings, which means you are having here that you are having multi alternatives, multi decision makers, multi criteria. For me, I will say it is almost multi to the power of 3. That means if you see the real problems, everywhere you will have a certain alternatives, a certain criteria. You are supposed to pick up which alternative is better. That is the day one from our childhood. We are trying to take some decisions. Is it right? Best school, best college. Where for me the alternatives are the number of schools. Criteria are like the maybe our college if you take it up, the maybe the placements, infrastructure. Some criteria we take it out, and every criteria will have certain weightage. In that situation, I will pick up which is the better or which is appropriate for me. So same thing happens in every field of engineering. Need not be water resource engineering. You take in engineering, I am supposed to take a decision. From what? From available alternatives, from available choices. Then you can see here, that's why I mentioned here, for what purpose just now I told you, for possible selection of the best or suitable alternatives. That is my agenda. Then So whenever I want to do any decision making, the first is that I should define a problem very clearly. What is expected? First point. And if I say my problem is, let us assume the best irrigation system. So what is my problem? I am trying to identify the best irrigation system. Further, what is my next agenda? What are the criteria which are appropriate to evaluate this irrigation system? Then, after that, what exactly appropriate data collection? I have to go to the either site or go through multiple reports. Try to identify what are the irrigation systems which are expert to evaluate, and what is the criteria on which I am evaluating this irrigation systems. Irrigation systems mean nothing but the distributors. And as mentioned some time back, every criteria will have certain weightage. That's why I mentioned here establishment of, after that establishment of feasible alternatives. Is it right? That means, what do you mean feasible alternatives? Feasible alternative means which are practically possible in reality. What is payoff matrix? The number of irrigation systems and the criteria. Then, so I make certain data. What about data? I am coming back. I show a table like this. What is A1, A2, A3, A4, A5? These are my alternatives. This may be 6 alternatives, 600 alternatives, 6,000 alternatives. My problem, my definition remains same. My solving approach will be here and there different, but my methodology remains same. Typically, I am having number of criteria. Then, so this I am calling as the payoff matrix. So what is my agenda? My agenda is to find out which is the best alternative. Here you can see I written here min, max, min like this. Certain criteria I want to have the lesser values. Certain criteria I want to have more values. For example, you take the cost. I want minimum cost. That means what is my direction of thinking? Always the minimum is better. The what are benefits? I want maximum benefits. So what is my agenda? I want to see which is towards maximum. So like this is called the payoff matrix. Remember, from the payoff matrix means nothing but the alternatives versus criteria array. Then, so once I format the payoff matrix, what is the next interest point? Which is the best? How can you say which is the best? Pick up randomly one alternative is one option. What other option? Identify certain mathematical approaches which will help us to solve which is the best alternative. Then what is incorporation decision maker's preference? This is nothing but the weights of the criteria. As mentioned now, each criteria may not have the same importance. Please understand that. Certain criteria will have more importance, certain criteria will have less importance. That means that also I am supposed to identify. So what I am trying to convey, that these type of problems are very common. Whatever example I am telling in water resources, but you take transportation, for example, the mode choice selection, every example you can find. At the end of the day, these numbers will vary, these definitions of alternatives vary, these definitions of criteria will vary. My solving procedure remains same. Then, so these are steps I told you. This is a typical payoff matrix. Now there are a number of methods. For example, somebody got the fever. There are a number of tablets are there which will try to reduce your fever. That means problem remains same. What is the problem? Fever. There are a number of solution approaches are there. Like here also, in the multi-criteria decision making, there are a number of techniques are there which solves the same problem. Then you may ask, sir, every solution will use same output? Maybe, may not be. If it is maybe, we are very happy. May not be, because every algorithm works with certain mathematical hypothesis. So then you may ask me, sir, why should I apply this many techniques, sir? There are two things. First point is that I'm a layman. I'm planning some activity. I plan to say which is better. I don't have any clarity. In that case, what I'm doing, I'm simply taking 2-3 approaches, trying to understand what is the ranking procedure, ranking of each alternative. At least as my postdoc advisor, Lucian Duxton, told me when I'm doing postdoc, it told very clearly that the more methods, it improves your thinking process. At the end of the day, these are planning tools. The more you are stronger in the planning, the more chance of implementation in the field, better. So in this particular lecture, I will tell what is component programming, what is TOPS. These are called the distance-based approaches. What distance-based approach? I will show you mathematics. Then the remaining techniques are called utility, weighted average, MAUT, AHP. These are called the utility-based approaches. Like number of methods are there. There are some mixed approaches are there. That means mixed approach is what? Take something from one method, take something from another method, combine it, you name it, you try to solve the problem. So this is called the hybridization approaches. Then, so outranking approaches of another category. In the first case, what is this distance based? For example, I am a data set. So what is component programming? I am trying to check my distance with the other ideal point. Ideal point means what? Which I wish to be. So that in the case of distance-based approaches, I will have some ideal point, anti-ideal point. I'm a data set. Srinivasa is a data set. I am trying to check my distance with the ideal, with the anti-ideal. If my distance is less, as compared my distance between data set is very smaller, then what is meaning of that? I am almost like an ideal situation. So in the case of TOPS, here we try to see both sides. In the case of component programming, we are seeing only one side, ideal situations. Whereas in the case of the TOPS, you will see the both situations. What is both? Ideal as well as anti-ideal. So these two algorithms I have discussed with you, including the numerical problems also. Like this, the weight average is nothing but, so you take the weights for each criteria, try to show some analysis. Like this, each algorithm had to say having certain understanding, algorithms having some analysis. The Prometheus is called outranking. Outranking is what? I push somebody trying to push me. Outranking. I'm pushing somebody out. Someone trying to push me out. At the end of the day, as a data set, I'm calling myself data set. So if we're pushing somebody, that means what? I'm having some strength. Somebody pushing me, that means I am big. Like a typical human being, you are having a strong points, maybe weak points. At the end of the day, the Prometheus approach try to tell us what is my net strength. If net strength is good, this particular alternative is ranked. If not, the particular alternative is not ranked. Like this, in this category, there are a lot of methods are there. Electric 3, electric 4, a lot. So like this, what I am trying to convey, there are a number of tools are there. All these tools are, I will say, very much appropriate to solve a lot of practical problems. Mainly, if you ask me specific, I can tell, mainly for solving that to start with the planning problems. Then, so I told you already, this is called distance based, utility based, mixed, the what I can call the outranking. So like this, we'll have a number of approaches. There are two situations for me. In the first situation, I am assuming data is crisp. Crisp means what? You are having a single numbers. What is alternative A1 of criteria C1? 80. So what is meaning 80? This is a fixed value. With understanding is that this data is not changing. There is ambiguity. Always this data is, this value is 80. This is called the deterministic situation. It's going to happen anyway. Second situation is got, I will call the fuzzy based. What is fuzzy? Mainly which is not certain, which is ambiguous. Why? How could this ambiguous occurs? Due to data limitations. Sometimes I am having data, but data is not appropriate. Sometimes I don't have data, but I am supposed to run my model. That means what I will do, I will take some hypothetical data, which is resemble freely conditions. I will try to apply. So this fuzzy based is another dimension. So these are called membership functions, which is membership function nothing but your thought process, your how you are looking towards your problem. For example, you can see here, I told you this membership function. What is Z1 and Z2? This is nothing, highest and lowest values which is expected. Fuzzy logic mainly works with the membership functions. Membership function changes with your thought process, which means whenever you want to solve a practical problem, let us be acquainted as best as possible with the field conditions. Please don't do modeling sitting in your chamber. Go to the field, at least go there, try to observe what is happening. You talk with the farmers, you talk with the officers, you talk with yourself, talk with research scholars. You have a lot of idea. Then only you model. Don't simply model just like that. That model may not work out logically also. Then, so this is called the fuzzy based. That what is fuzzy based? I told you, data is not certain, which means that, for example, somebody say, what is alternative A1 versus C1? I told you 80. It may not be 80. It may be 75, 80, 85. That means I am giving a range. Range of how much? 75, 80, 85. Which means you can see this. I told what is the value? I told you 80. What is A1 value? 75. What is C1 value? 85. What is B1 here? Most likely value. Most likely, I never told it is precise value. Most likely, expected to be. So this is the way the fuzzy logic work out. Please note, these are all a beautiful research areas where you can really keep your research targets. Then, so I told you about linguistic ratings. Linguistic ratings in the fuzzy logic, we use the word always the linguistic ratings. Linguistic rating is nothing but your natural language. Somebody will say, how are you? I am fine. How many marks you got it? I got medium marks. What is average? A medium marks. It is a natural language speaking. So whenever we are going for fuzzy logic, I told you, data, when I do fuzzy logic, I can go whenever the data is imprecise. Or I am not getting any information where I can apply this problem as a numerical context. That is the way I will go for the fuzzy logic approaches, mainly for imprecision handling. If data is precise, we should not go for fuzzy logic. That is my answer always. Then, so this is a payoff matrix. I told you some payoff matrix I shown you some time back. What is payoff matrix? When data is, I am assuming to be crisp. Some numbers are there. In this case, what I am speaking like you can see these are all called the payoff matrix. What are these? These are called criteria. What is MG? I don't have any data. I am assuming that this particular distributor working with this as a medium. Please note how to analyze this type of problems very clearly. Then, in most of the problems are of this nature only. Then, so before moving forward about the discussing some of the numerical problems, I also prepared some of the future research areas where you can really do some wonders. That is the last I will tell you. So you can see here what a supporting methods I can do. I told you I am supposed to estimate the weights of the criteria. How can I compute the weights of the criteria? First, why should I compute weights of the criteria? Because I told you this number we expect to be equal, which means I am supposed to determine some type of a methodology to estimate this weights. So that you can see here. So this is about the number of methods are there to determine the weights. Entropy, analytic hierarchy process like this. Another approach you can try using a data mining techniques like cluster analysis, fuzzy cluster analysis, or optimization methods in the multi-objective field. A lot of supporting methods are there which will create your payoff matrix more logical. Then you may ask me, sir, you are telling about number of methods, sir. How to say which is the best method? For me, any method which requires less data from the user, for me, there is always a suitable method. Then that means how can I compare these methods? Whatever I talked about, either this block or final block last. How can you compare? I mean, a lot of approach to compare in terms of what whether this particular method handles qualitative criteria or what qualitative criteria. Quantitative criteria means what? Numbers. What qualitative? Like very good, etc. Then. So, for example, if you take up the AHP, which I told you sometime back, analytic hierarchy process, it requires whatever you do, it expected to divide the data, divide the alternates and criteria structure, always hierarchical structure. It is a little bit burden. Typically, you can take here the weights. What are these weights here? The form of weights. How am using the weights? Somewhere we are using the weights in terms of exponent. Sometimes we are using the weights in terms of multiplication, like this. So how I'm using the weights? I told you the parameters. There are two things here. Less parameters. No, sir. If any approach require more parameters, that means what? It is difficult for me to get that much values to my problem. Sometimes I have to go to a decision maker to ask him a lot of input parameters. So again, perfectly fine, sir. Can I go and I'll ask him. Or you should be familiar with this data, with these parameters. Then amount of interaction between what? Myself, maybe farmers, maybe remain stakeholders. How much interaction I require? The more interaction always advisable, but simultaneously it's also understood that we should interact which is best possible within the time available to all of us. Then the base of ranking, for example, the component programming ranks based on LP metric. TOPS is ranks based on closeness coefficient. So every method will rank different way. So please note that this is called a comparative analysis. Really, you should work out whenever you pick up any new method or existing method for your particular problem. Then, so I will talk about the component programming. Okay, for the Girish, can I continue?
Sir, continue, sir. Please continue, sir.
Okay. So I prepared some numerical problems also. I will share to all of you. So what I am doing now, I am explaining first the compromise program. What is the compromise program? I told you already. So let us assume I am showing simple or small arrow. I will come back here. So please, this is my data set. Myself, Srinivas Raju is here. What is this point? This is ideal value. Ideal value. So what I am doing now, I am trying to check out my distance from the ideal situation. If my distance is small, that particular alternative I prefer. If distance is a little bit longer, I may not be considered. So quadratic number programming, is the I check out the best alternative when myself I am using telling once again I am very clearly I am data set. I am distance from the least distance from an ideal point. That means what? I am checking myself whether I am ideal or not. Definitely I am not ideal. Next, what is my next agenda? If not ideal, how much I am away from the ideal? The less distant ideal point, always I prefer. So that is simple compromise. These are simple approaches, two simple approaches, very powerful, very practical. Because I prefer this method to some case studies because it requires less data. So what is this LP metric? This is nothing but a vectorial distance approach. What is the A? A is the alternative. Then what I am doing now, I am checking the LP metric distance for each alternative. And wherever the less value of the LP metric, that is the I prefer that particular alternative. You can call alternative, data set, choices, doesn't matter, all are synonymous names. Then, so here I have two formulas. Please note that whenever I am trying to do the multi-criteria problems, most of the time we are expected to make the data normalize. Not always, but sometimes. That means what? This is my ideal, but this is my point. What is FJ star? FJ star is my ideal value. How can I decide? I can decide based on number of choices. If there are 60 students are there in a class, who is my ideal? Maybe the first rank student. That's what he may. I may take him as ideal candidate, and I can compare my distance with him. What second logic is? For example, I use still more simple example. In a class, my examination was 100 marks. Somebody got 80 marks. Highest person got 80 marks. So, what is the maximum mark in the examination paper? 100 marks. Then what is my process I will do? I can keep either 80 marks student as my ideal or 100 marks as my ideal. Because I can even cross the 80 marks student. But what is maximum I can target? 100 marks. So what I am trying to convey, better to be more logical whenever I fix this ideal values. What is FJ? I told you myself. What is the P? P is a parameter reflecting the attitude of the decision maker. Then that's why I made one figure today afternoon. You can see here myself, ideal. What is the P? The 2 points are there. First point is myself, second point is my ideal. How many ways I can reach ideal? I can join like this straight line. P is equal to 1. Second, then I may join P is equal to 2. I may join P is equal to 3. I may join P4 like this. How many values of P possible? Any number of values. Even either this way or this way. What is the P? P is my thought process. How I will behave. I can behave like 2 points are there. I can walk straight. No sir, I will jog. So this is my how I am going to see, or this is the perception, assuming that I can reach like this. I can reach like this. Understood? So what is P infinity? Like this, you are all tired. The maximum value of P, I am calling P infinity. P infinity means sometimes I will take P value 10, P value 11, anything I can take it. So I told here P 1, 2, 3, 4. P is integers. Even P can be real also. I can make even P 1.1 also. But I should know why I kept here 1.1. So having said so, I am going back to my formula once again. What I am doing now, I am checking my distance from the ideal. What is WJ? The weight of the particular criteria. Then what is J? J1 to capital J? If there are 6 criteria are there. For example, I am going back to my problem once again for better understanding. Here, how many criteria are here? 6 criteria are there. That is equal to J is equal to 1, J2, J3, J4, J5, J6. You can see here. So that is the way this method works out. But sometimes what will happen here? For example, the C1, C2, C3, C4, C5 may have different units, which means I cannot add all these simultaneously because I am trying to use here concept of what? Sigma. Further, what I am doing now, we are trying to make the data dimensionless. I can use any method for dimensionless. One of the approaches is what? You divide this by the maximum value of the criteria minus minimum value of the criteria. You can do normalization with a number of approaches. What is the purpose? The data become dimensionless. What I told you about the P, this is simple approach. Then what is the parameter in the case of component programming? How to find the value of the P mainly. What is second parameter? We want to think a little bit. What is the ideal value I can pick up? I told you there are number of ways I can pick up the ideal value. So this is a typical compromise programming. You can say I told you this is the way your P value you are trying to handle. Then, so I am solving a problem for better understanding. You can see here, this is the data given to me. I told you 6 or 66 and it won't matter to me. Why? Same mechanism. So here C1 to C6 number of criteria are there. I told you minimum, maximum like that. What I'm from all my analysis, I am trying to solve using problem as the maximization. That means what I'm doing now, I will convert data, minimum data to maximization. What I will do, I will keep maximum here. Instead of 80, I will keep here the minus 80. That means how my problem works out. Maximum means what? Minus 80. You can see here. Minus 80, minus 65 like this. Wherever minimum is there, I am trying to convert minimum to the maximization. That means maximization of minus 6. So this is the way we done for the criteria which are of the minimization in nature. So this is the way we are people view like this. We can convert our data like this. Then what is my next agenda? I should know. I know the FJA value. What is FJA value? This is nothing but these are FJA value. J in the case of C1, what is J value here? 1. So this is for criteria 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What I'm doing now? I'm computing the alphametric value for the each alternative. That means what I'm doing now? I'm just simply doing a simple mathematical procedure. Either this or this doesn't matter. What I'm doing now? I'm trying to see that for criteria 1 plus criteria 2 plus criteria 3 plus criteria 4 plus criteria 5 plus criteria 6. But nothing but alphametric value for the alternative A1. Like this I will do for the all the alternatives. Whichever value is less, I'll say this is the suitable alternative which I am looking after or looking to see for its implementation or for planning purposes for further analysis. Having said so, I made another table like this. This is my formula. I told you this is mainly for the normalization because let us assume this value is in rupees. This value will be in rupees because rupees to rupees become dimensionless. So you can see here. So what I have done here is the answer I am telling. So what I told you, I want here the ideal value FJ star. What I told you, FJ star is nothing but ideal value. How can I fix it? I can fix it based on my interesting ideas. So in this problem, what I have done by here, I simply taken highest value among this, lowest value among this. Because I have not gone any other ideal values because I want to pick up which is the best among us, worst among us. This is somewhat a realistic concept. Among us, one fellow got highest mark, one fellow got lowest mark. So with this understanding, what I have done, I try to the maximum value, the minimum value, ideal value, maximum value become ideal value in this case. Here I assume weights as all are equal weights. You may ask, sir, how to compute weights? I told you can compute weights using either entropy approach or AHP approach or even simple rating method also it will do. For what purpose? To compute the weights of the criteria. What is normalized weights? Nothing but the summation of weights we expect to be 1. For the what you have done here, we had all these ones, these 6, 1 by 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 6. So this is the way where you try to solve a problem, where you want to write a MATLAB code or any programming environment, always be very, very clear about your mathematical steps. Once you are very clear with mathematics and the fundamentals behind this algorithm, coding will not take any significant time. So step number one, somebody giving the data. Step number two, I converted into the minimum maximum understanding. Step number three, I'm preparing a table for these parameters of what I can call all these values. So what is this WEJ value now? 0.1666. What is a P? P I can take any value. So to time being what I have taken P is equal to 1, which means that I am joining my ideal value straight line, second order like this. I have taken P values. I remember the 3 values. You can take any number of P values once you take simple code. In fact, you can do same problem in Excel sheets. There. So after the what I have done, I haven't done anything. I tried to substitute these all these water values with us in the form of a simple equations. You can see what is the weight value here? 0.1666. So you can see. Then after that, try to make P as equation. What about this? The second bundle, Fj star minus Fja, Mj minus Mj. This is done for the criteria. Then what is the criteria on ideal value here? Minus 40. What is this Fja value for this criteria 1? Minus 80. So like this, what I am doing now, I am computing here my LP metric value for criterion C1. Like this, I am doing for what? Repeating for criterion C2, C3, C4, C5, C6. Yes, please note that this is the way we can, whenever we are solving numerical problem, I always go for a minute understanding about this each and every step. So what is this I told you? We assume all weights are equal, 0.1666. The P is a parameter. What is our criterion C2? Criterion C2 is what is criterion C2 value here? You can see for alternative one, 90. You can see here exactly. Is it right? Criterion C2, criterion C3. What is 96 here? 96 is your, what is 96 here? Your ideal value. So we are repeating a monotonous analysis now for criteria 1, criteria 2, criteria 3. Then what after what I have done here? I simplified this analysis. Finally, we got 0.123, some number to the power of P, power of P, power of P, power of P, power of P. Then what is the metric of the alternative one? You can see here, this is my analysis. Okay, whatever I have written here, this I try to copy once again here for the alternative. This is called a generic expression. Now, what I will do now? I will check the metric value for alternative one. So what I have done here? I have taken P is equal to 1. What is P is equal to 1? I am assuming that the P is 1 means like this 2 points are there. I try to link these 2 points. P is 2 means second point. P in 10 means the last point or infinity. So like this, we can try to analyze our problem for P is equal to 1, P is equal to 2, P is equal to 10. P is 10 means what? Approximately that as a infinity. So this like this I will do for. Again I will do a same job for the alternative 2, alternative 3. Same monotonous job, same repetitive job for the alternative 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once I do this, my table will be like this. You can see for P is equal to 1, what is my value I told here? 0.56, 573. You can see I tried to run alternative 1, P is equal to 1, P is equal to, P is equal to 3. What I am trying to convey here very clearly, please note that there are 6 alternatives are there. If I assume that I am joining my ideal point straight line, these are my LP metric values. And what is this rank 1? Wherever my LP metric value is less, I am assuming that as a first rank. Is it? That means what? I am very close to my ideal value. Because I told you this is a distance approach. Then what is second rank? The next LP metric value. What is last rank? The last LP metric value. Typically, I am doing for the P is equal to 2. P is equal to infinity like this. You can see there are some changes in the ranks. What I am trying to convey, if you are very clear about the P value, you can go for. Otherwise, you can take P is equal to 2. Most of the research problems go with P is equal to 2, which technically meaning is nothing but It is a squared deviation. You can see here. P is equal to means what? Technically, it is a simple squared deviation. Squared deviation. Squared error, I can call. Much more simple terms. That is the way you can try to find out the analysis. Depending on the p-value, your rankings will change. If you are not giving any idea what you can do, you can think of taking p is equal to 2 to start with. Then, for the Girish, can you continue?
Continue, sir, please.
Okay. The second approach is called TOPSIS, which is nothing but technique for order of preference by similarity to an ideal solution called TOPSIS. In the case of component programming, what you have done, everybody knows that I am trying to check my distance only with ideal solution. I am not bothered about the anti-ideal. I am always seeing towards a positive side. But in reality, you will find both positive as well as the negative situations. So, TOPS is exactly same thing like component programming. Exactly. Only difference is that in this case, we computed here the dA plus dA minus. But in this case, the p-value p-value was taken as the 2. So in the case of TOPS, the p-value chosen as 2. That is what dA plus is nothing but in principle, in the case of component program, is nothing but your LP metric value. That's all. It is a cut and paste from component programming. One difference is that I am trying to see even the anti-ideal side also. So positive, negative. Since to make it a composite figure, they have introduced the concept of the closeness coefficient. What is closeness coefficient? Is nothing but a measure to tell about the ranking pattern. You can see it is a ratio of the dA minus plus dA plus. That means the higher the CA value, the more, the better the rank is. The better the rank is. So again, I picked up the a little bit different problem. I try to reduce with the division of 10. Same problem technically. Again, I have done same job. So this is my normalized values. This is my ideal and anti-ideal values. What I'm trying to show here is about the dA plus dA minus CA. What dA plus I told you, ideal distance, anti-ideal distance, as well as the closeness coefficient. Higher the closeness coefficient, the better the alternative is. So we've done the same job for the all 6 alternatives, dA plus, dA minus, closeness coefficient. So you can also find here, higher the closeness coefficient, the better the rank is. The better the rank is. So this is another approach. In fact, the TOPS, I will say the component programming is little bit more expanded method as compared to the compromise programming. If somebody wants to apply component programming TOPS, my suggestion is that it suggests to go with the TOPS because it handles both ideal and anti-ideal simultaneously. Then, so before going further, I want to say some points about these two methods or all the decision-based methods. These methods are sensitive to the weights of the criteria. First point. These methods are sensitive to the normalization which you are doing it. What is normalization? Make the data dimensionless. Then, so these 2 points are very, very clear. One is the weights, one is the normalization. The third, in the case of component programming, you want to go with component programming, another parameter which always control your ranking pattern is nothing but the parameter P. Remember all our understandings. One, the weights of the criteria. Second, normalization approach. The third, the parameter P in the component program. Then, so these 2 methods are very simple, distance based. As compared to number of methods, these methods requires less parameters, less number of parameters. Now, the other method I'm going called the Promethi. Promethi is, I told you, it is a typical, I will call an outranking approach. The name itself is preference ranking of or ranking organization method of enrichment evaluation. As compared to the previous methods, this method is, I will say, very good. However, it requires a lot of parameters. That is a stumbling block most of the times. Preference function approach. So preference function depends on what? Pairwise comparison between the two evaluations. For example, it's simple, in our home, always they compare with always with the other fellow. He is doing very well, you are not doing that. Very common phenomena, compare with other fellow. The Promethi has taken exactly same concept of the comparison and try to make the same thing in a mathematical framework. I'll show a numerical problem before I explain some methods also. This is another method where you can really try. And whatever methods I'm explaining, you take component programming at top or any method. Please note that all these methods can be extended very easily in the fuzzy logic context. I will say very easily into the fuzzy logic context. Then now what I'm doing now, you can see here, there are, before that I'll show some figures to you. For example, we told here some type of an analysis where I can say that it is comparison. Comparison means what? Comparison means what? There are two alternatives are there. I am telling a little bit slow for better understanding. You can ask many doubts at the whenever for the Grish permits us. So the two alternatives are there. I'm comparing, let us assume myself and my friend. Data set 1, data set 2. What is this HD? HD is nothing but your preference function value. Preference function. What DJ? Difference between myself and my friend. So let us assume it is a question of marks. What exactly the user criterion says? If I got 48 marks, if he got 47 marks, who is greater here? 40% greater here. That means what? Whom they should prefer? They should prefer me. Is it right? That means I will be preferred as compared to my other friend. That is called the usual criteria. Any small difference matters. What H here? This is nothing but HD is nothing but representing here the preference function. What am I trying? DJ means what? Difference between both of us 0, perfectly fine. Nobody prefer anybody. If I am greater than him, even 0.001 mark, I will be preferred as compared to this fellow. So this is called the usual criterion. Please note that this is a beautiful approach where you can apply number of practical problems. Second approach is called quasi-criterion. What is quasi-criterion? We assume that if difference between myself and my friend is less than or equal to certain value, we assume that there is much difference. That means what is difference between myself and himself? In principle, 0. It is possible whenever I have taken subjective data, when there is no preciseness, we will give some type of a range saying that within this range, we assume there is no difference. That's why I mentioned here. DJ is less than or equal to QJ. What is QJ here? Indifference threshold. Then the preference function value is 0. Greater than that, preference function is 0. That means that if the difference is more than 10, then I will say there is small differences. The difference is less than 10. Okay, almost both are equal. Almost equal doesn't matter. Both are equal. Like this, these are called a meaningful understanding about the difference between the two alternatives. parameters. Like this, we'll have a, like this, there are 6 are there. In fact, you can create your own preference function for your problems. I suggest it. So, what exactly that means, that whenever I pick up any problem, I should understand that for each criteria, which type of criterion function prefer. Please remember, criteria functions, both are different. Criteria means simple, objective. What are criteria functions? Which determines your preference function values. So what is step number 1? Step number 1, nothing but somebody give us data. Step number 2, I should decide which criterion function suits to which criteria. Then accordingly, I will compute here the difference and etc. I prepared numerical problem to show you. Please note that simple problems, but I can say in this method, manual solving is a little bit difficult. They are expected to prepare a simple code, maybe Excel or MATLAB or whatever coding environment you are familiar or comfortable. Then, what is QG? I told you, indifference. What is indifference? Almost there is no difference. What is preference? Beyond that, I am having some interest. Indifference, preference. Then, here we will have some concept called a multi-criteria preference index. This is the strength, this is weakness. I told you starting, strength means weakness gives me the net strength. So this net strength may be positive also, negative also. If net strength is positive, that particular alternative I may prefer. Negative, I may not prefer that particular alternative. What is pi AB? This is nothing but the weighted average of the preference functions. If what is J here? Criteria. J1 means first criteria, J6 means sixth criteria. That means I am adding all these preference function values, denominator by the weights gives me, which are calling as multi-criterion preference index. This is nothing but weighted average of the preference functions. Then, so anyway, so same problem I have taken, what I solved for the component programming here. Then, so this is step number 1. Step number 2, what is step number 2? I am supposed to prepare a table like this. Always I am suggesting all of you, whenever you want to develop a mathematical algorithm, or whenever you want to solve any problem, be very clear about 2 things. First point, get complete grip on the algorithm which you want to work. Mathematical, top to bottom, very clearly, each end, every point. This will help you on 2 fronts. One is to understand your algorithm very. Another way, another advantage, you can write the code much easy. One more thing I always see, whenever I understand any algorithm completely, the next question coming to mind is that whether I can extend this algorithm one step ahead. Like this, we develop a good number of algorithms. That's why don't simply blindly solve the problem. Please understand the mathematics very clearly, in and out. That will really make you more success in the research. The second point I told you is that whenever you want to try for a real problems, at least go to the field. If it is near to you, at least once, see what is happening. If not, wherever possible, go through the reports available to you in depth, in and out, because every problem is a unique problem, unique constraints, unique bounds, unique variables, unique solution approaches. I cannot make it generalize every approach like you go for like this. Most of them it is not possible also. So I am coming back to our problem. So what I have done here, it is again something very subjective. For example, there are 6 criteria there. Then what I told you, I should define for each criteria what type of criteria function I wish to apply. Then again, this is little bit subjectiveness. If for same criteria one, you can pick up any type of criterion function. I picked up quasi criterion because I am assuming that this quasi criterion data is not so precise, it is having some subjectiveness. Then whenever I gone for quasi criterion, what is next interesting point? For a quasi criterion, what data I require here? QJ value. What is QJ value? Indifference value. Again, I am going back to my table where I prepared some data. Again, I take indifference value as QJ is equal to. What are the weights? I have the weights as the equal. Like this, I try to fix each criteria, certain criterion functions. Please note that by this time you would have felt a little bit difficult. The reason is that every point parameters are moving infinite digit, right? The first question is that for each criteria, what type of criterion function is suitable? So this I am calling as uncertainty number 1. What is second uncertainty? How to fix the values of this indifference performance thresholds for each criteria. This is my second uncertainty. Which means I have to be very clear when I'm telling somebody this is the best alternative, this is the not best alternative. I should do a lot of sensitivity analysis before narrowing down, say, which is a better alternative. This is not the case in the case of computer programming or TOPS. In the computer programming, what is happening? I am comparing myself with only ideal. In the TOPS, I am comparing myself with ideal or anti-ideal. But in the case of Prometheus, I am comparing myself with everybody. That's what you can see here. So what is this first data? Pairwise comparison difference means what? I have taken the first criteria. What is first criteria here? This is first criteria. So what is happening here? I am comparing criteria 1 with all the 6. So what is my pairwise comparison matrix size now? 6 by 6. What? Your preference function matrix. What is preference matrix? Once you know this, that's mentioned here. So what is happening here now? So you will have a lot of uncertainty of this nature. So how to get the preference function matrix? Just I told you, go to this table, try to see. For example, if the dj is less than or equal to qj, the preference value is 0. If not, it is like this. I am doing for a lot of computations for each criteria. For how many times? How many criteria we are having here? 6 criteria. That means how many tables are expected now? Table 1, table 2, table 3, table 4, table 5, table 6. It is computational little bit voluminous. So you can see this difficulty always whenever going for a data driven, data intensive computations. So once what is first row I told you, this is my difference matrix. What is second row I told you, this is my preference function values based on the chosen criterion functions. The number of applications of Prometheus, transportation, structure, soil mechanics, every field only require path matrix. Once I got these numbers, what is next agenda? I am interested to compute here the weighted preference function values. That means what I am doing, wherever how many criteria are here, 1 to 6, which is nothing but what I am doing, I am now checking, criteria 1, this value, typically criteria 2, criteria 3, criteria 4, criteria 5, criteria 6. This is nothing but a weighted preference function value. This we are calling as a multi-objective problem, multi-criterion preference index. The multi-objective problem. Why these diagonals are 0? Because you are comparing with yourself. That means I am not preferring with myself. So diagonals are 0, 0, 0. So A1 to A1, A1 to A2, A3, like this is called a pairwise comparison matrix for which consider all the criteria. So this is called multi-criterion preference index. After what I told you, I am interested to compute here what the weighted with we computed now. This is the strength, weakness, the net. The strength in terms of what? You can see what is my strength now. You can see now. I am A1. I am comparing with all other people. That is my strength. That means I am pushing all these people. That is my strength. So what I'm doing now? I'm adding all these values. This plus this plus this plus this. I'm dividing by 5. Why by 5? Because this is the average. Then what is the weakness of A1? A6, A5, A4, A3, A2 pushing A1 like this. So this is the weakness of A1. Again, what I'm doing now? Add all these 5 values by 5. It will give you the average value. So what I'm doing now? I'm not doing anything in principle. So A1 to A6, these are the all the alternatives. 5 plus, 5 minus, net 5. These are ranks. You can see here. Highest value 0.2929, best alternative. Similar, some are negative values, that is the weakness. So accordingly they will be ranked. So please note always that if somebody asks me, so which whether you prefer, my answer is a double-sided answer. Whenever I want to understand the problem to start with, most of times I prefer to go with the TOPSIS. Because simple, no parameter. At least you know what is what. Whenever, but only difference of TOPSIS is that it never discriminates whether the data is precise or imprecise. Is it right? But the Promethi, you are an option to handle when data is precise or imprecise. Is it right? If data is precise, use your criteria. Data is imprecise, all these criteria functions will come to your rescue. So this is the way you can try to make here the Promethi. So Promethi is very, I told you, a computationally little bit demanding approach, but once you write a simple MATLAB code, you can do with it. That's all. So now I will discuss briefly 2-3 case studies because I have a time of another 15 minutes or so. The first case study is CM Sagar project. So these are 6 alternatives. This we got it through the K-means cluster analysis. I'm not putting the K-means cluster analysis here. There are 6 alternatives. How many criteria we are having here? Criteria 1, criteria 2, criteria 3. You want to show, you can show the same thing in a 3-dimensional plot. Now what is my agenda? I want to say which is the best alternative. Again, what I'm doing now for that, I used these approaches for ranking the same. Electric Promethi 2 based on the outer ranking, component programming for distance-based approach, AHP utility approach, MCQA, this is mixed approach. I have taken here the 5 approaches. What is happening now? I use this method, all these techniques to rank. The ranking graph is like this. So you may see any commonality, very limited commonality. But if you see first rank, most of the methods following the giving same methods as the same alternative as the first rank, most probably. Here also I have taken the weights of the criteria using this, I compute using the AHP. Then, so after that, this is called Spearman rank correlation. Spearman rank correlation purpose is very simple. Whenever I have taken same data, but I have taken 2 different approaches for solving the model. I want to know what is the correlation between these 2 ranks. Then it is possible through the Spearman rank correlation coefficient. Higher the value, always advisable. 1 is the maximum value. Then the second approach is called case study called ranking of GCMs. So GCMs are nothing but the global climatic models, or sometimes people call even the general circulation models. I am not going to what is climate change, but climate change having lot of factors, lot of effects. So what is GCM? GCM is a simple, I will say, model, not physical model. a computer model I will call, which can predict the future data. Data means what? The rainfall or temperature, whatever. So the number of organizations developed their own models. Which models? Own general circulation models. So in this particular approach, whatever we ranked these GCMs for further work. What is further work? You can see here. So you can see this is GCM. GCM at the what? At the hemispherical level on the top. My interest always lies in the bottom. That means what? My output changes if I won't pick up an appropriate GCM or appropriate GCMs, plural. So for that, what you have done, we try to take the number of GCMs. You can see here the number of GCMs. Like this. There are 36 GCMs you are taking. The GCMs are more than that. What is GCM? Simple, a simulation model, a computer simulation model. This is one version, this is another version. Same organization. These are called the GCMs. So what exactly we are doing now here? We are analyzing each GCM based on 3 criteria. One is called correlation coefficient, skill score, and a normalized root mean square. Then, so what is the agenda? My agenda is very simple. I want to see which is the best model, which is best GCM, or which are the suitable GCMs. Then, what if it is best GCM? I don't have issue. For suitable GCM, what I can do? Instead of running one GCM for all the future purposes, I will take the n symbol means what? The more number of GCMs, which I am calling as the n symbol. Then here I take here component programming for ranking. So these are the GCMs. I'm showing only the minimum temperature here. I taken MATLAB, simple MATLAB code I run using component programming. So like this, we try to show which is the better, which is not better. Like this, we try to do some analysis. Finally, we are able to show that I will take the ranking points also. So my rank H is 281 ranking points. Like this, we try to analyze the GCMs. So what I am trying to convey, that you can apply this ranking approach to any field, like transportation, water resources, structures, soil mechanics, or any engineering problems, ranking of best faculty. Is it right? Like this, the list goes. So this is one application where you can really try. Then another application I have taken for the fuzzy logic based ranking. Here I have taken the fuzzy topses. So further, what exactly we have taken here? We have taken the another set of GCMs, which is of different category, CMMP3. We have taken here the 11 GCMs. And what exactly we have done here? Again, I have taken some indicators. Indicator is nothing but what? Which evaluate your data set. Here I have taken topses, topses, heated fuzzy topses. So what if fuzzy topses means what? It handles, it will have 3 values. You can see here, I told you, most likely one extreme, another extreme. So like this, we'll have if you see the data is like we have taken upper for upper Malaprabha. There are 11 GCMs are there. There are 3 indicators are there. Again, we have done same mechanical job of computing the ranks, e.g. closeness coefficient etc. We are able to get some values of this closeness. Again, I am able to rank which is the better GCM for the chosen case study. So like this, you can apply either deterministic fuzzy, or sometimes you can even try even the stochastic GCM also. Stochastic also, you can do the simple analysis, simple calculations, how to compute here the that is separation measures. So what I will do now, I will explain some of the future areas where you can really try. Till now, what I have done, I will explain briefly before moving what is the future areas, then we will go for a discussion of the participants. The first I start with the what is multi-criteria. Then I told what is deterministic, what is fuzzy. Then I also explained about the different categories of approaches like distance, what I can call outranking, utility, hybridize. Then I explained you three techniques: compromise, Topsis, Prometheus. We also compared how to compare these techniques. Out of these three, the Prometheus is a little bit computationally demanding, but it requires it. But in my opinion, this whenever data is imprecise, it will do a lot of wonders. Then I shown a simple case study of CM Sagar. Next, one more case study of ranking of GCMs in the deterministic approach. Again, the ranking in terms of the fuzzy approach. So this is the way in the limited time I'm able to present. But I make a lot of other interest. Mainly, is applicable to all the people. But I try to show in terms of the mainly the water resource context. Whatever you study till now, ranking of GCMs or anything, where at the end of the day, where I am applying this for the real problems. First, very generic statement, any application. That is generic statement. But I can apply it to the optimization of the reservoir operation. Sometimes we check whether the water system I created it is adequate or not. I can try for urban flood mapping, planning. Because water, once the climate data coming, I can apply a number of situations. Optimal cropping pattern, which is the best cropping pattern for the given case study area. This I told sometime back. You can try a beautiful data mining techniques like Kohanon, similarly it is under sorting approach. You can apply a lot of optimization algorithms like differential evaluation, genetic algorithm, list goes. Another beautiful domain coming is called a fuzzy optimization, where resources are not clear. Typically, web-based decision making, the number of people are away from number of different places. But you can, even though you are away, you can take a combined analysis using present-day technology, the web-based decision making. The other interesting area you can try the development of decision support system, DSS will call. What is happening, which whenever I'm working, there are number of approaches are there, but most of the time I found that these approaches are mainly at the academic front, solving 2-3 algorithms. Okay, number of algorithms are there where you can really try for application to a number of case studies. What I'm trying to convey, bring the techniques from academics to field applications. I told multi-path optimization is applicable to all the domains. You can apply multi-path optimization, data mining, multi-gate decision making techniques, CRISPR fuzzy. So, like this, you are having a lot of things. Similar, I told you, explore new approaches. Just not an example, Prometheus. You worked with Prometheus. Now, can I modify Prometheus method? I will say yes. How? I will make my own criterion function. Like this, I can expand the existing methods. Another is called the regression, fuzzy nonlinear regression. So what I'm trying to convey, climate change applicable to every domain. Because climate change, one of the major component of climate change is the rainfall. Whenever you want to lay the roads, you always take into rainfall into consideration. Whenever you want to build a building, you take rainfall into consideration. So like this, in my opinion, there are a lot of wonderful research areas which are waiting for you. And my humble suggestion is that after the workshop also, be in contact with Professor Girish and try to explore with him. Any communication you can send through him, I will try to respond back. But a lot of research areas where you can really explore. Only thing you require is that little bit organized way of working and be clear what you want to be, what you want to be. I'm telling twice. Then, so I told already, and in fact, the maximum material I taken from my textbook with Nagesh, my collaborator at IAC Bengaluru, my long-term friend. and some material I have taken in CSR project. So thank you all, and I'm open for discussion. Ask me any questions. Feel free. Time is not limitation for me. Please.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your generous.
It is a
So,
pleasure always, Girish. If somebody benefits, it's wonderful for me.
yes, sir, definitely, sir. I know personally how you are very like how you help us and support us. So I request the participants to post your questions, or you can unmute and even discuss with Professor Srinivas Raju, sir. The participants are requested to post your questions, or you can raise your questions. Dear participants, you are requested to ask any question related to your research topic, how this can be applicable to your research topic, and you can take some inputs from Professor Srinivas Raju, sir. Vidya Priya raised your hand. You can ask, you can unmute and talk. Hello?
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello. Good evening, sir. Srinivas Raju, sir. Are you there? Sir, hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please wait. Hold on. Sir,
Okay, sir.
Sir, Professor Srinivas Raju, sir. Sir, are you able to hear, sir? Sir, we are unable to hear you. Hello.
మీకు
Sir, now it's right, sir. Yeah.
ఇంటర్నెట్ ఇష్యూ ఇది ఉందండి. ఓకే,
Okay,
నన్ను 2 క్వశ్చన్స్ అడిగారు. ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే, ఆర్ యు హియర్ మీ గిరీష్ నౌ?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Audible, sir.
ఓకే. ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ నేను మోడలింగ్ టెక్నాలజీ అన్నారు. నేను మోడలింగ్ గురించి చెప్తాను. టెక్నాలజీ అన్న క్వశ్చన్ నాకు అర్థం కాలేదు ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా ఏం అడుగుతున్నారు జనరల్ గిట్ట. సో మోడలింగ్ వై ఐ డూ మోడలింగ్ ఈ సింపుల్. I talk in terms of an optimization, a cropping pattern. I'm a water resource professor. What happens here? I want to design an irrigation system, which means there is some reservoir is there, one canal is there, one farmers fields are there, requirements are there. What I will do? I will try to replicate the same using some of the modeling techniques. For example, I will simple example of a linear programming. What is linear programming? Simple optimization tool. What it will do? It will provide you that within these constraints, what is the best possible expected. That means I should have objective function, some constraints, some bounds. So what is the advantage? I can plan exactly, like before coming to this lecture, I planned how to present my lecture. In fact, I practiced also. Exactly what I'm doing, I'm trying to replicate a situation which is expected to be. So modeling purpose is, if you take simulation, it is duplicating the system. Optimization to provide you the best possible idea how to go ahead about it. In the case of optimization for the modeling of reservoir operation, I will say, I know what is the reservoir capacity you can keep, what is the canal capacity. First, two, how to get the water to the farmers' fields the best possible way. So modeling has a lot of advantages. It is, I will call, first it is a simulation model, optimization model. It is model. But what I'm speaking is a mathematical model. What is physical model? You can see really a ship, preparing a ship, prototype model like that. But what I'm doing is a mathematical model which can be described with the number of equations. So this is the one question I'm able to answer. Okay. Then Vijaya Priya V, he asked me about DCS in case of urban flooding. Very good. So generally, I am working on Hyderabad urban floods. Generally, for me, I want to run a hydrologic model. There are number of hydrologic models are there, which are almost informative. So what I can do, I can make a structure. I can bring a hydrologic model into the loop. What a hydrologic model will do to tell you maybe what is the runoff. Again, I can keep another a BMP siting tool which will provide you where to keep the BMPs. What is the purpose of BMPs? To provide a best mechanism to reduce the runoff. So whatever runoff is coming from the hydrological model, I can link to this type of BMP siting tool. So what I'm trying to convey, I want to make every component. At the end of the day, what I want a decision. Please understand that I want a decision. For what? Whether to keep BMP or not. Whether this particular mitigation measure is suitable or not. So whatever Vijaya Priya V asking, very genuine question in the sense that nowadays every number of models are independently working. Can you make in a common platform so that I'm repeating once again, whatever runoff generated by the hydrological model, I'll try to give me some idea. Oh, this much water coming to me for as runoff. How to handle it? I have to handle through some approach. So what is best possible handling? Bring some siting models. EPA, their sustain model is there, which will provide you the BMP siting tools. Even I can bring even optimization also here. So So one output will input other, another input will be other output, another input. At the end of the day, as a end user, as a common man, what I want, I don't want to see any flood water in front of my home. So as a stakeholder, as an officer, I want to take a best decision how to handle this flood. So the DIS is a very beautiful approach. Anybody wants to do, they can really do that. That's wonderful. Linking all the models, they require some patience, require, I think, some understanding about the computer algorithms. Nothing else.
I think Vidya Priya, your doubt is clear. If you have any other questions, you can ask. You can unmute and talk.
Yes, thank you, sir. I clarified the doubt, sir. According to the professor speech, I could able to interpret based upon BMPs, we can have, if we integrate more BMPs, we can have a sustainable and decision making. Isn't it, sir? What is the optimization algorithm we can use for the urban flooding, sir?
Yeah. Now what happened here, I will tell you very simple way. So hydrology model will give me what is the runoff. Siting model will tell me where, at what locations I can keep these BMPs. Optimization model will tell me what is the best possible combination I can keep so that the cost of the BMPs will be less, and vice versa. In fact, one of my students is working for PhD. If you want, I can provide a number of PhD students. You can contact Girish later if you're interested. She's working
Yes, sir.
similarly.
Okay, so I'll collaborate with the PhD students. Already, like I did dissertation on urban flooding only, sir. But I did not use sustainable model for decision making support. I haven't done. I have done only like urban flooding mapping and prediction only. I have done my dissertation. So I want to further work on sustainable management. So that's why I would like to.
Perfect. May I know who is speaking from other side? May I know who is speaking from other side about the research scholar?
Yeah, Dr.
Vidya Priya,
Vidya, so Dr. Vidya Priya speaking. Sir.
Okay.
So your PhD scholar, they are working on sewer design. No?
No, one research scholar already submitted. She got her reports also. And why was sometime this month?
Okay. Sir.
Both are working as part of sponsor project of ITRA, collaboration project with IAC, BITS Hyderabad, NIT Varangal, and a long mega project. So the second student is working on mainly on this best man practice only, mainly.
Okay.
But she's linking the I can say HMS, and she linking the BMP siting to called sustain.
Okay.
Again, she linking with integer program, binary integer programming, and now we are moving towards the application of machine learning to this the flood mitigation.
Okay, can you introduce your scholar, sir?
Her name is Madhuri.
Madhuri.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir.
Okay. Any more discussion?
Any other discussions are there? You can unmute and talk, or you can even post it.
Okay, Girish, I think we can take break now. I hope there are no doubts. Always welcome. Any doubts, they can contact you. You can
Yes, sir.
get me the messages. No problem.
Sure, sir. We will. I'll get back to you, sir. If any queries I receive through mail, definitely I'll get back to you.
Please. Thank you. All.
If I start saying thank you again, you will say no. You are the one of the best person for me, always at my end. We wish to continue operation in future too, sir. Thank you for accepting all our invitations.
It's a pleasure, Girish.
Very happy to
I was learning this process, always learning and interacting with a lot of youngsters, lot of ideas from them. If somebody benefits and do wonderful work, I'm most happiest. Okay, thank you.
I would like to tell to the participants, because Professor Srinivas Raju sir is one of the mentor to me. I always give a lot of suggestions. I ultimately put into execution part. Of that, because of which I'm able to do something very good things. Thank you, sir.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Girish.
Right, sir. See you, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's all about for today's session, and I have again posting the feedback link in the chat box. Try to give you your feedback for the session, and if at all you have any queries, please mail us, and I will try to get back to you with the feedback. Thank you very much to all the participants. I can see all the participants who were actually part of the previous sessions, previous workshops as well. I'm very happy to see you back again for this phase 3 workshop. Let us join again back in tomorrow's session on day 2 by sharp 10 o'clock. And then subsequently we'll have other sessions too. Yeah, I'll provide my mail ID. SAS mail ID, you can search through BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus website. Morning always starts at 10 o'clock, 10 to 11:30, and evening 4 to 5:30.
Sir.
Hello. Sir,
Sir,
Nazir, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Very good evening, sir.
Very excellent session, sir. Morning, I missed the link, sir, due to technical difficulties. Morning, I was present, sir, but I was unable to get the link, sir.
Yeah.
Morning
sure,
feedback link, sir.
Yeah, I'll help you. No. Just write us a mail to the given mail. I'm just giving. Okay.
To your mail ID.
You through mail, sir. Yes, sir.
To your mail ID.
Link same, sir?
No. Links are different. Morning link is different. Afternoon link is different.
Morning link, I actually
it was some
technical flaw is there, sir, in my lab, in my computer. I was unable to get
sir.
that one.
Yeah, sure. I'll help you, sir. Please take down the mail ID which I have given in the chat box. You can write us. I will just reply you immediately.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. So another person actually, so maybe some problem at the other end. The link which I have sent is a different link. It is not morning's link.
The morning, I have written a mail and you have responded.
Yes.
I have filled that form. Now, when I enter the second form, afternoon,
okay.
Already you have responded. That message.
Can you just go through this link now, just which I posted now? Or else if you get the same problem, you just mail me again. I'll rectify your problem.
Okay. Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, recorded video, I will be uploading it. YouTube channel, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, departmental YouTube channel. In that, you will be seeing all videos, whatever the STTPs we are conducting. If you are there in our Telegram group, I will definitely. If you are in our Telegram group, I will again post the YouTube link channel link, so you can subscribe. If you are not in Telegram group, please mail me. I'll add you to the Telegram group. Girish Civil @svcw.edu.in. I'm just giving my mail ID, so you can just write a mail. Immediately I'll respond to you. Okay. This is all about today's session, and we'll end the session now. So at last, one more time, I will just send the feedback form to you. If at all anybody is missing, you can go through it. I hope my voice is audible. Let us meet tomorrow morning at 10. And I know you are all having classes, online classes. I know instead of that you are attending. I'm very happy. We wish to have your support for the rest of the sessions. Thank you. Thank you. We'll meet in tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Tomorrow morning, the topic is geotechnical physics, sets and physiologic application in geotechnical engineering, and which is delivered by, which will be delivered by Dr. Gaurav Gowda sir from IIT Madras, professor. So we'll have a wonderful session tomorrow also. We'll be back at 10 a.m. sharp. Thank you.